Live from Midland, Odessa, and Big Spring, this is ABC Big 2 News at 10.
Now at 10, investors are bracing as the stock market is set to reopen tomorrow morning. Now, last week ended with stocks nosediving, government bond prices plummeting, the pound dipping against the dollar, and oil prices slumping. Now, investors are already worried about rising interest rates and stubbornly high inflation. Fear the country's economy is closer to a recession. Good evening and thank you for joining us on this Sunday night. I'm Rob Took. Now, interest rate hikes aimed at cutting inflation are having a ripple effect on the economy. Here's ABC's Deirdre Bolton to explain.
Stocks tumbled Friday. The Dow Jones closing down almost 500 points, finishing below 30,000 for the first time since June 17th and at its lowest level since November 2020. S&P 500 shedding more than 4.5% and the Nasdaq down more than 5%. Energy markets also taking a big hit. Oil prices fell following a series of interest rate hikes around the world. Many investors and economists are concerned we may be heading for a global recession, which would lower fuel demand. U.S. crude closing below $80 a barrel, its lowest level since January of this year. The market turmoil comes as the Federal Reserve continues its efforts to curb inflation, raising its benchmark interest rate 0.75% earlier this week.
We have got to get inflation behind us. I wish there were a painless way to do that. There isn't.
This marks the 5th time this year the central bank has raised rates, making it more expensive to borrow money. The hope is that demand for goods and services will cool and therefore temper inflation. Americans paid 8.3% more for goods in August compared to a year ago. Rising interest rates are bad news for home buyers. The rate on a 30-year mortgage now double what it was in January, now above 6%.
The housing market doesn't do well in a rising interest rate environment. And that's because consumers are relying on mortgages in order to become a homeowner. And what we've seen since the start of this year is that millions of Americans have now been priced out of homeownership.
Also affecting consumers, the average interest on credit card rates now stands at about 18%. Deirdre Bolton, ABC News, New York.
Now, like Deirdre said, the Federal Reserve Board's trio of 2022 interest rate hikes has made borrowing harder for companies that want to grow. Now, the White House has pointed to one part of the economy that remains strong, the job market. Unemployment is at 3.7%. And taking a live look outside tonight, traffic is fairly light at this hour. We're getting a look at drivers making their way through Odessa on I-20. TxDOT is sharing an update with us tonight about some construction in downtown Odessa. Night work starts tonight at the intersection of 8th Street and Grant. Now, this night work is planned for all week. Drivers are asked to watch out and drive slowly around this area. Time now for a check on our weather for this upcoming week. Joining us live tonight is ABC Big 2's Bridget Sarpong. Hi, Bridget.
Hi, Rob. How are you? I hope you're doing great.
Good. I'm good.
I hope everyone at home is doing great as well. Speaking of everyone at home, let's take a look at what the area has to offer us. We did see some rain, and we're going to continue to see some rain in our area. We have been starting to see that in the past 3 hours, so we do advise you stay indoors until the storm does pass over. Today was a nice day. We actually came in kind of close to our average. We came in at 84 degrees. Our average is 85, so we came in 1 degree cool. Not bad whatsoever. Around this time in 1977, we actually were in our triple digits at 102 degrees. Now, currently this moment, we are cooling down just a tad bit in the area because of the rain that we are seeing. We're 3 degrees cooler in the Midland Odessa area, 2 degrees cooler in Wink, but Carlsbad is actually 2 degrees warmer. I'll have more of this new week's forecast later on the show. Back over to you, Rob.
Thank you so much, Bridget. Now to Tropical Storm Ian and what may soon be a major hurricane. The system could roar to a Category 4 before making landfall along the Florida coast. Now, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis declared a state of emergency, activating more than 2,500 National Guardsmen to respond to the storm. And developing now at 10, a Detroit radio news anchor was killed in a violent attack inside of his home. 57-year-old Jim Matthews was found dead on Friday. He was the overnight anchor at a Detroit-based AM radio station for nearly 7 years. His girlfriend escaped the home with multiple stab wounds. And the victims, 2 young kids, were rushed to the hospital with horrific injuries. Now, police have arrested a 54-year-old man. The suspect was found in the family's basement with a self-inflicted wound and an attempted overdose. Police said the suspect knew the victims and often visited their home. On the morning of the incident, he was welcomed into the home. Jim Matthews' brother spoke with our sister station.
Do you and your wife know anything as far as to, motive for this? What might have transpired?
There is no motive. There is no. I don't know why he was in the house. I talked to the lead investigator, and my brother probably came home to this. He comes home about 5:30 in the morning and was probably surprised and attacked at that time. And I believe that Hunter, his 10-year-old, was trying to fight off this man that was attacking and trying to kill his father, and that's how Hunter ended up injured and tied and put into a closet.
Police have not revealed the suspect's relationship to the family. The investigation remains ongoing. And across Texas, a 12-year-old girl and her father are both shot in what a sheriff's office says was a plot by the girl to murder her family. The girl lives in the city of Weatherford, east of Dallas. She was shot in the head. Her father was shot in the stomach. They're both hospitalized. No word on their conditions. Police said the 12-year-old girl plotted with another girl in Lufkin, more than 200 miles away, to murder both of their families. The Parker County Sheriff's Office did not say how the 2 girls were in contact with each other.
This case illustrates just how vitally important it is for parents to know who their children are friends with. And that would be whether in the classroom, on social media like TikTok and Snapchat, and even gaming platforms.
And the girl in Lufkin changed her mind about killing her father. That's what police said. She's been charged in Parker County with criminal conspiracy and the planning of the murder plot. And new at 10, a close look at a dangerous trend at schools across the country. In the last 2 weeks, more than a dozen states reported hoax calls to 911 about school shooters. Now, even if it's a hoax, law enforcement treats these situations as a reality. And it can leave students, teachers, and parents terrified. The FBI is now getting involved, and they're making the promise whoever made these hoax calls will get caught. ABC's Phil Lipoff has this report.
A troubling and terrifying trend across the country. Fake calls to police about active shooters in schools.
How the hell can you do this to kids? Like, what goes through your head that you target children?
It's called swatting because emergency responders, SWAT, and tactical teams rush to the schools ready to engage. But there's no threat. Friday, the latest example, schools across Ohio in 7 cities getting the hoax calls. Students huddled under desks, parents waiting outside in agony. According to the National Association of School Resource Officers, in addition to Ohio, these 15 states have been targeted since September 13th.
That emotional cost of those 20 minutes when we thought there was really an active shooter. And so you have all that chaos and anxiety and fear on the part of students, teachers, parents, the community members.
In Texas, Houston's police chief with a warning last week after this response to a fake call at a high school there.
It's no joke. And whoever made this call, understand. When I say all our agencies, including the FBI, we're going to trace it down and we're going to hold them accountable, okay?
The Bureau telling ABC News the FBI takes swatting very seriously because it puts innocent people at risk. Going on to say the agency will investigate every threat.
And that was Phil Lipoff reporting. Safety experts say schools often see an increase in shooting and bomb threats at the beginning of a new academic year. The ensuing response can be dangerous. In San Antonio last Tuesday, for example, distraught parents responded to a school en masse. After they received a lockdown alert, some physically struggled with officers outside. And one man even punched his fist through a window to try and gain entry. A call about a shooting was later deemed false. And coming up, week 3 of the NFL season continued today as the Texans hit the road. Highlights from the field and more ahead in sports.
And temperatures today cooled down due to a small cold front and rain in the area. Stay with me after the break. We'll see what this week's temperatures have to offer us.
Do you have feelings for Lucy?
Rosalind Dyer, a female serial killer.
Hello, John.
Wonderful adventures are coming, it's true. And a bright future awaits only you. Raise your hand if you want to be a teacher.
Locals know the best way to control expensive water costs is to install their own water well. Since 1981, the JR's Water Well team has been serving the Permian Basin, providing quality residential and commercial water wells that every customer can trust. Our customers describe us as outstanding and professional, with a quick response time and expert knowledge. Trust the JR sticker seen all over West Texas for your water well installs, maintenance, and repairs. Call today to receive the Big 2 10% off anything offer.
I think he'll be safe in there.
Help keep what's important to you safe with Chevy Safety Assist, standard on these Chevy SUVs. Find new safe places, find new roads.
Well-qualified buyers can get 3.49% financing on most 2022 Chevy SUVs when you finance with GM Financial. New models are arriving daily. Secure yours today. Chevy drives Texas. Find new roads.
The 2022 Tundra. Toyota. Let's go places.
Optimum Business is here with fast, reliable internet with speeds up to 1 gig to bring opportunities closer so you can go farther. Get internet, phone, and mobile with flexible plans and internet with built-in cybersecurity for just $69 a month. With Optimum Business, you get transparent pricing with no hidden fees and a 60-day money-back guarantee. Your future's only a connection away with Optimum Business. Plans start at $69 a month. Call or visit Optimum Business today.
And now, your local weather authority forecast.
Well, friends, happy Sunday. The weekend came and it went. And, before it left us, we did see some really good temperatures and also some rain in the area. Taking a look at what we have seen and are seeing right now. Clearly, the sun has gone down. A little bit darker outside. Some clear skies, and also our driving conditions down below are clear as well. Thanks to the Miller Sky Cam, we're able to see what we're seeing right now as you look outside your window. However, here's what we got going on. We're going to be in our 60s tonight. Feeling a little bit like fall, and then still some areas are going to have some rain drizzle. Our winds are going to be traveling 5 to 10 miles per hour east. And here's what we got for today. Today we came in at a high of only 84 degrees, which is actually 1 degree short of our average, which is around 85 degrees. Now in 1977, we were in our triple digits at 102 degrees. So we're going to take what we can get. Slowly we're getting into the fall temperatures, so I'm really excited about that. But the rain and also that cold front that did come in this morning, we have cooled down in the area. We are 3 degrees cooler in the Middle Odessa area, 4 degrees cooler in Big Spring, along with Hobbs. And then we have Seminole sitting 2 degrees cooler, and then Carlsbad has increased by 2 degrees. The coolest for today is Guadalupe Pass sitting 17 degrees cool, and then Van Horn has stayed the same. So pretty much with that rain that we have been seeing and going on is all of, what's cooling us down in the area. Now taking a look at our bus forecast, we are going to be in our 60s around 8 a.m. for our kiddos. We're going to have a very cool and breezy start to the day. But here's what we got. We are going to increase our temperatures as we make it over into afternoon. Monday afternoon, we will be in our 80s. Our low 80s sitting at 81 degrees in Midland, Odessa, along with Wink, Big Spring, and in Hobbs. And then we have Snyder sitting at 80 degrees. And then we have Seminole and Hobbs and Carlsbad. They're all going to be in their upper 70s. So definitely not too bad whatsoever. And then here's what we do have. By the time we get into 12 a.m. and the midnight on Tuesday, we are going to be cooling down. So a very cool kind of start to our Tuesday morning. Here's what we got for tomorrow to start off our week. Taking a look at our algae forecast, our trees, our weeds, our grass, and our dust, along with our mold, sitting at a low level. So do take the necessary precautions so that you can enjoy your, your week. And then taking a look at that rain that we are seeing, so most of it happening south of I-10. That's going to clear on out for us to enjoy some, a little bit some cloud cover going on at 6 and 6 a.m. on Monday. And then we are going to see a little bit of some rain happening around 2 p.m. over in the Alpine area. So not too bad whatsoever. Take a look at that 7-day forecast. It is going to show that we are going to have some really cool temperatures. We're cooling down into our 80s, mid to upper 80s. The coolest that it's going to be for the week is going to be Monday, tomorrow. Few clouds. It is going to be windy. And then we're going to increase a little bit on Friday and Saturday. So let's make the most of that week as we can.
Thank you so much, Bridget. And trending tonight, Rihanna has confirmed she will be headlining the 2023 Super Bowl halftime show. The big game will be held at the State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona on February 12th. Now, after years of Pepsi sponsorship, Apple Music will take over. In 2019, Rihanna was asked to perform in the halftime show, but back then she declined out of solidarity with Colin Kaepernick. And we turn now to the tragic death of a high school football player in New Jersey. Freshman standout Xavier McLean suffered a traumatic injury during a game. He died on Wednesday, and his devastated parents are now speaking out about his life and legacy. Here's ABC's Phil Lipoff again tonight.
A high school football team in New Jersey taking the field with heavy hearts without one of their own. The mayor of Linden posting these pictures of 16-year-old Xavier McLean.
I lost my boy. I lost my son.
16. Yeah, his whole life ahead.
16.
Norm and Lisa McLean feeling a pain no parent should. Their 16-year-old son Xavier suffered a severe injury in the second half of a football game in Linden, New Jersey on September 9th. In the hospital for 2 weeks, he died Wednesday.
That boy was loved. He was in every sport, social, bright, gifted and talented. But I'm never going to see him graduate from high school.
Saturday, an emotional effort.
We ask that you join us in observing a moment of silence.
Dedicating the game and their win to Xavier. The Jets head coach offering this in a video posted on Twitter.
On behalf of the Jets organization, heartfelt condolences to his mother Lisa, his father Norman, his brother Andres, and the entire Linden community.
And that was Phil Lipoff reporting. Linden, New Jersey is a very tight-knit community. The mayor says Xavier's family will not go through this alone.
And now your ABC Big 2 Sports.
Over to sports now with ABC Big 2's Avi Kargloff joining us live tonight in the studio. Hey, Avi, busy day.
Yeah, indeed. Always is on an NFL Sunday. And we had the Houston Texans, who are coming off a tough loss where the offense struggled in Denver. They only scored 9 points. This week, the Texans went up north to Chicago, hoping to right the ship before they return home next week. Let's start you out here from Soldier Field in Chicago. Those McCamey Badgers over there, they might look at those Bears uniforms and say, hey, copycat. Second quarter, meanwhile, it's 10-7. First and goal for the Texans. That's Dameon Pierce. Punches it in for the 1-yard score, his first career touchdown. Texans up 14-10. Third quarter, it's a 17-13 game. Khalil Herbert over the goal line on a 1-yard score, and the Bears take the lead 20-17. Later in the third quarter, Texans, they're punting, but nope, they're not going to do that anyways. It's a fake punt, direct snap to MJ Stewart, gets a first down, gain of 3. Texans would go on and get a field goal, tying the game at 20. Just over a minute left, we're still tied 20. Davis Mills, his pass is going to be intercepted. Roquan Smith jumped the route beautifully, takes it down to the Houston 12-yard line. Bears take over, and with just 3 seconds left, Bears setting up for the game-winning field goal. Cairo Santos, yes, sir, down the middle, 30-yard game-winning field goal, and the Bears win 23-20. Now, if anyone is sitting around wondering, hey, Avi, you're a nice guy and all, but why aren't you showing the Cowboys highlights? Well, it's because there aren't any. Dallas will play on the road against their division rival New York Giants tomorrow night at 7:15 p.m. right here on ABC Big 2, and we'll have those highlights for you then on ABC Big 2 News at 10 immediately following the game. So Cowboys fans, this is the place to be tomorrow night. An exciting first few weeks for that division. The Eagles beat Washington today, and the Giants are 2-0, so a lot going on in the NFL world, and should be a great game tomorrow night as well.
Yeah, we'll be watching it with you, but in the newsroom.
Yeah, we're going to be
waiting for the Cowboys defense to do their magic.
Getting ready to get on air right after that, so this should be a fun time. And Monday Night Football, always a blast, especially within the division.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot, Avi, for your time. And coming up tonight, Hall of Fame quarterback Brett Favre faces questions over his role in Mississippi's largest fraud case ever. That report next.
You have to look at stories in terms of what matters to regular people. Get away from the fringes and the special interests. There is no reason to magnify the smallest voice just because of how angry and vicious it is. Magnify what matters. Bring to light what is being ignored. You will watch this show and see that the job is done the right way. We don't play the game. We change the game.
Chevy Silverado. It's got the power you want and the capability you need to do the job so you can get to the important work. Find new moments, find new roads. Get a $500 cash allowance on all 2022 Silverado pickups with a 2.7-liter turbo engine. Plus, now during truck season, get a $1,000 accessory allowance toward a new Chevy truck with accessories. See your Permian Basin Chevy dealers.
Across America, crime has exploded. Police officers killed in the line of duty. And here's Beto O'Rourke.
I really love that Black Lives Matters and other protesters have put this front and center to defund police forces.
That's right. Beto stands with groups that support defunding the police.
And I know that it's an idea that is dangerous to some.
No, it's dangerous to everyone, and it's why Beto O'Rourke should never be governor of Texas.
The new GMC Sierra. Premium and capable. That's professional grade. New GMC vehicles arriving weekly at your local dealers. Available for immediate delivery with 0% financing. Visit your Permian Basin GMC dealer.
And developing now at 10, Brett Favre is facing questions about a potential connection to a $70 million welfare fraud scheme in Mississippi. Federal investigators say some of that money was used to buy a new volleyball facility at a college where Brett Favre's daughter is enrolled. ABC's Elwin Lopez has the latest on what this could mean for the NFL Hall of Famer.
New details in what Mississippi officials are calling the largest public welfare fraud in the state's history.
We've seen a ton of welfare money that's intended for the poorest folks here in the state of Mississippi flowing to people who just simply did not need it.
A new court filing making public more text messages allegedly showing NFL Hall of Famer Brett Favre pressing former Mississippi Governor Phil Bryant for money because he wanted a new sports facility at his alma mater. In the filing, Bryant, who is attempting to clear his name, shows what he says are conversations between him and the former quarterback. One message from 2017 reading, "Not sure how we can help get this facility built for V-ball, but you're the governor and on our side, and that's a good thing. Actually, a great thing." Bryant responds, "We can do that. Just get me some numbers and I'll find a way." The former governor has not been charged. He denies any involvement in directing welfare funds to Favre's project. This is all part of a civil suit filed in July that alleges Bryant and others misused $5 million intended to help the state's neediest residents and diverted it toward this volleyball facility at the University of Southern Mississippi, where Favre's daughter was attending school. The filing goes on to claim that in more texts from 2019, Favre asked Bryant for assistance to secure more funding, texting, "We obviously need your help big time, and time is working against us." Bryant responds, "We are going to get there. This was a great meeting, but we have to follow the law. I am too old for federal prison." These new court documents filed by Bryant's attorneys allege Favre and former nonprofit director Nancy New, who has already pleaded guilty to fraud in the $77 million scheme, were requesting funds from the Mississippi Department of Human Services to build the facility. Favre has not been charged. His attorney says the former QB never knew the origin of the money, saying he only has good intentions with every charitable endeavor he has organized.
The DOJ is definitely closing in on others involved in this misappropriation scheme. They're going to determine who was connected to this scheme based on communications of people who are already indicted.
New is cooperating with authorities. Also cooperating is John Davis, who had control over those federal funds. He pled guilty Thursday for misspending tens of millions of dollars that were meant for those in need.
He's cooperating because there are other individuals that the state and the auditor's office and the federal authorities are interested in.
And that was Elwin Lopez reporting the three-time MVP has repaid more than $1 million, but the state of Mississippi says Favre still owes $220,000 in interest. And coming up tonight, NASA is about to crash a spacecraft into an asteroid. Why the mission could one day save humanity.
I've been asked if buying a mattress at Bob Mills Sleep Spa during employee pricing is really worth it. Will you tell me?
It allows you to buy a new mattress at my employee price.
Like this Allegro Queen mattress in 3 different support levels that dissipates heat away from your body. Normally $3,900.
But with my employee pricing, just $2261.78.
Now that's huge. And you get 60 months to pay with the Bob Mills card.
Bob Mills Sleep Spa. That's a pretty tight spot.
Watch this.
Your Buick Park said so. That's so you. Of course you know where we're going. That's so you.
Kinda got a 6th sense.
And a head-up display.
They're here.
You brought all these players in your Buick?
Yep.
So you.
It is.
At the heart of every Buick SUV is you. Pay no interest on Buick SUV models. Buick, ranked #1 brand in the industry for new vehicle quality.
Visit your Permian Basin Buick dealer.
The power to change your future is now. The SUVs are here. Be one of the first to drive a new Explorer, Bronco Sport, or Edge. Custom order your Ford SUV today and lock in 2.9% for 60 months, plus $500 bonus cash. See your best in Texas Ford dealer for more information. Come kick up your boots at Midland College's 50th anniversary celebration with the Texas Trio, featuring country artists Kyle Park, Jason Roberts, and John Michael Whitby from George Strait's Ace in the Hole Band. Saturday, October 8th at 7:30 p.m. Al G. Langford Chaparral Center. This celebration is free and open to everyone. Visit midland.edu/Texas-Trio for more info.
Finally tonight, the new frontier in space. NASA's deliberate collision with an asteroid. Here's ABC's Gio Benitez.
Preparation confirmed.
Tonight, NASA on the eve of a potential breakthrough in space exploration. Scientists hoping to witness its spacecraft crashing into an asteroid 7 million miles from Earth, calling it an important step in planetary defense.
So far, nothing recent enough that it has a large impact on our civilization, but it could happen.
The mission is designed to show how NASA may be able to redirect a dangerous asteroid that may someday threaten Earth.
Liftoff of the Falcon 9 and DART.
The DART mission, lifting off last year aboard a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket, the spacecraft has been hurtling toward 2 asteroids with intertwined orbits called Didymos and Dimorphos.
What we're going to do is we're going to run a small spacecraft into the smaller of the 2 asteroids, and it is going to change its velocity by a small amount.
These 2 asteroids are not a threat to Earth, but scientists say the pair have perfect conditions for this first-of-its-kind test. To make the collision happen, a smaller probe will be jettisoned from the larger spacecraft, ramming into the asteroid at a speed of over 14,000 miles per hour. This, along with a first-of-its-kind observatory being built in Chile, could be a game-changer in asteroid detection.
From this point forward, if it happens while we're here, that's not bad luck anymore. That's us not doing our job at protecting this planet.
Gio Benitez, ABC News, New York.
Well, I hope it works for the sake of humanity, right? Coming up after the break, Bridget will have one last look at the forecast. Stay with us. And as we head to break, a reminder that if you see news happening, share your videos and photos on social media with us. Make sure you use the hashtag ABC Big 2 News. And if you haven't done it yet, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We are ABC Big 2 News.
Locals know the best way to control expensive water costs is to install their own water well. Since 1981, the JR's Water Well team has been serving the Permian Basin, providing quality residential and commercial water wells that every customer can trust. Our customers describe us as outstanding and professional, with a quick response time and expert knowledge. Trust the JR sticker seen all over West Texas for your water well installs, maintenance, and repairs. Call today to receive the Big 2 10% off anything offer.
At Priority ER Care, we have the newest CT, X-ray, ultrasound, and labs facility in the Permian Basin, with the capability of handling both simple and complex medical crises. Priority ER Care, we've seen it all. We do it fast.
Optimum is here with award-winning internet to help you get closer and go farther, faster. Get speeds up to 1 gig with 99.9% reliability. And Smart Wi-Fi 6 for whole home coverage. Built-in security and no data caps to keep you moving. Get Optimum Internet for as low as $30 a month, now with a 2-year price lock guarantee at Optimum.com.
And away we go!
Grammy Award-winning Asleep at the Wheel is live in concert with the West Texas Symphony on October 8th at the Wagner Noel. Get tickets at WTXS.org.
You have to look at stories in terms of what matters to regular people. Get away from the fringes and the special interests. There is no reason to magnify the smallest voice just because of how angry and vicious it is. Magnify what matters. Bring to light what is being ignored. You will watch this show and see that the job is done the right way. We don't play the game. We change the game.
Let's take one last look at that 7-day forecast. Now, tomorrow's going to start off our week. It's going to be windy, few clouds, a high of 85 degrees. Do be sure to have your shades. Continue to have your shades throughout the rest of this week because the sun is going to be out. That means we're going to be warm, sitting in our upper 80s. So 86 for 3 days straight up until Thursday. Then we increase our temperatures by 1 degree, sitting at 87 on Friday and Saturday, and cooling back down by 1 degree on Sunday. So let's enjoy this week.
It's going to be a beautiful week. Thank you, Bridget. Now check this out. French professional highline walker Nathan Paulin walked almost 1.4 miles on a suspended line at the UNESCO heritage site of Mont Saint-Michel in Normandy, France. The French daredevil spent 2 hours carefully crossing the slack line suspended between a crane and the famous abbey on the tidal island. All right, now to a different type of scary. Before the start of the Green Bay Packers and Buccaneers game in Tampa's Raymond James Stadium, there was a massive beehive under one of the goalposts. Of course, the grounds crew safely removed it. Now, did you know bees have 5 eyes, fly about 20 miles per hour, and on average, a beehive can hold around 50,000 bees?
That's crazy.
That's ridiculous. Imagine, like,
oh my gosh,
kicking over there. Like,
I'm not really sure how they moved it.
No, me either.
I hope they did it safely. I mean,
do they do it like hours before fans got there? I would assume that's like problematic if you have to move a whole beehive and you have like thousands of people there.
Now, worst case scenario is walk a tightrope across an ocean or move a beehive. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but I'm thinking about all the honey that they're probably producing right in that moment.
Yeah, and we love our bees.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, but I mean that's a lot. Yeah, it's a really inconvenient spot too.
Yeah, I don't know if it was necessarily a good luck charm for that game either, but the Packers, they had some yellow, so they got away with that.
Exactly, there you go.
Tom Brady's nemesis, the bee.
Bee.
Now we're just making stuff up.
Now we're just...
we got to move on. All right. That's all the time we have for news tonight. Thank you so much for joining us on this Sunday night. Good Morning Basin starts at 5 in the morning. Good night.